Hello, blessings, and welcome to Awaken Your Soul Chakra. Welcome to Awaken Your Soul Chakra. Now, let's talk about the soul chakra, which is my creative term for the chakra at the top of your head, a little bit towards the back, also known as crown center. And also, this is a reference to the chakras that are immediately above the crown. Some people call it the soul star. Now, when you look at the soul star, the way it has been depicted in paintings, you get a sense of what it's about. You look at paintings of mystical figures through history, and intuitively, the artist always recognized that there was a glow above or behind or around the head of the mystical person. Now, there's a reason for this. The person so depicted is in tune with the infinite, otherwise known as enlightenment or Christ consciousness or something like this. But it's depicted in different cultures, and everybody through history seems to know what this is. However, unfortunately, they ascribed that unique attunement to certain rare individuals. So what we are going to be practicing this evening are the ways of getting to that consciousness, and it has to do with attuning to your chakras in particular ways. And in fact, to simply recognize that this is an issue of being tuned in to certain upper chakras, it starts to give you the hint that you don't have to be a special person, but rather the specialness happens to each individual when they open those energy centers and when they work with them. Now, we are going to learn how to do it consciously, and we are going to practice it in a balanced way. Now, the reason I'm emphasizing safety here is because through history, when people inadvertently opened up their higher centers before they were ready, they became imbalanced. So we are going to do it safely. Also, one of the things that people rarely understand about opening chakras is that each of your energy centers is connected to every other energy center in your body. Now, simply understanding that starts to set the stage for you doing this in a safe and balanced way. What it means is, when you're working with a chakra, you're not only working with that one chakra, you are rather including that chakra that you are working with into the family of all of your energy centers. To understand that is to understand how to do things in a safe and balanced way. So, let's find out what the saints were doing. And I do recognize that some of these saintly figures through history may have been born with a natural attunement, and that's all well and good for them. What works for the rest of us is to cultivate these attunements in a conscious, methodical way. Now, to start, what I'd like to do is to ask you, tune into your body and tune into the space where you are right now. Just get a sense, here you are in your body, you're breathing into your body. Tune into your feet so that you're grounded. And I want to add a little bit about the safety aspect that we were speaking about earlier. When you are opening an upper center, you want to be aware of your feet. You even want to be aware of the space beneath your feet. You want to be grounded and integrated in your body in real time. Now, tune into your body, tune into the space around you, and just get a sense, I am here now. I am here now. And with your hands, tune into the energy in your hands, your energy hands, your psychic hands, and just lift any fog, any psychic fog out of your space. We're calling it the workspace because that's where you're working from. Lift it out and let it go. That's good. Now, breathe into your body get a sense of the top of your head. Tune into the top of your head. But remember, you're also aware of your breathing, also aware of your body, also aware of your feet. Good. Now, when we talk about the crown, often you think of the crown at the top of the head. It's actually a little bit towards the back. It's sort of where you would wear certain kinds of caps, like the yarmulke cap that is worn by Jewish men. So it's at the top, but a little bit towards the back. So tune into that area. Now, with your energy hand, and remember, you can use your left hand or your right hand. It's all the same as far as you are concerned here. With your energy hand, literally reach up with that energy hand, put one of your fingertips right on that point. It's top of the head, a little bit towards the back. Now imagine that you can reach in to the center of that energy center, and you're going to start to pull from the center of that center. You're going to pull outwards in all directions. So you pull a little bit towards the front, a little bit towards the side, a little bit towards the back. It's almost like prying something open. From that center point. Now you can do this decisively. You can be decisive when you do something, but you can be gentle and kind. You're not forcing something. You're gently opening. Gently open that space from the center. Good. And you are aware of your body, and you are present. What I want you to notice, for everything that we do this evening, notice what you sense in your body as well as what you notice in the chakra area. Now, the reason for that, as mentioned earlier, everything is connected, but also the reason for it is each of these energy centers, you could think of the situation that you have when you're getting acupressure or acupuncture. You feel it in the whole body because everything is flowing. So if you want to know what's happening in your crown, you might feel it in your shoulders, you might feel it in your spine or all the way down to your toes. So you're opening up that crown center, and now with your energy hand, you are going to smooth it and be creative with this. You are going to creatively smooth and massage the chakra now that you've opened it a bit. Okay, that's looking good. Keep tuning into your feet as well. You are present in your body as you do this. That's good. I'm seeing a lot of stagnant old patterns flying out of your head, so that's a good thing. And just let them fly out and encourage them to release into the light or release into the center of the earth. That's good. Okay. Yes. Now, several styles of massage that you might want to know about. You have your circular style, and let's try that one. You are going to use a circular or spiral motion on your crown using your energy hand. And you might want to spiral from the center point and then spiral out and then spiral back into the center point. That's an option. And remember, notice what you feel in your body as you do that, because it's very likely that if you are at all sensitive to energy, you will have beautiful tingling energy flowing all the way through your body. Here's another style, more of a straight motion. You're starting at the center point of the crown, and then you're going to be sweeping your energy hand outwards, and that's going to help it get a little bigger, and it's going to release some deep blocks. So let's do a little bit of that, starting at the center point, sweeping outwards. That is releasing some heavy old realities. They are releasing very nicely. That's good. Okay. Most interesting. At this point, I'm seeing a lot of vibrant energy flowing up and down the spine. What I want you to do with your energy hand, sweep up and down. Just imagine Here's how to visualize it. Imagine that there's a gentle beam of light or consciousness extending from your energy hand, sweep up and down your body. What you are doing here, you are massaging the connection between your crown center and you're integrating that with your body. So up and down. And get a sense that when you are sweeping towards the area above the head, you're actually reaching right into that crown area, and you're accessing the life energy that lives there. We will be exploring what lives there momentarily, but for now, just tune into the energy in a general way and get that energy flowing so that the crown nectar, we might call it, the crown nectar is able to flow up and down your spine. That is good. Okay. Now, the crown center needs help being integrated with the body. So, tune into the energy in your spine and weave some of that spinal energy up to the crown and mix some of that spinal energy into the crown center. Good. That's giving a taste of the physical body energy to the crown so that it can register and recognize the body more thoroughly. Almost like introducing two elements or two beings to each other. Very nice. Nice integrations. That looks good. I see good releases. Most excellent. I would ask you now, take one or both energy hands, lift any stagnant energy that released out of your workspace, release it into light, or release it into the center of the earth. Good. Okay. Release even more. Some of these patterns that have released are very big, and some of the patterns are even bigger than the body. The reason that happens is that in the infinite space within your center, within the core of your body, there are vast realms that are bigger than your physical body. The question is, how do you protect this center, or how do you close it in the appropriate way? We are going to be addressing that in a manner that's different from shielding. You think of a shield as something that you hold up to block things. That tends to create a bit of a problem because it is a rather defensive stance. It's sort of like trying to walk down the sidewalk and know what's happening, but you're covering your eyes because you're trying to protect yourself. So we are actually going to be using a different method involving presence. Now, speaking of protection, we are going to talk about a new concept in chakra consciousness. Now, to be clear, generally, when you think of chakras, you are thinking of them as an opening, almost like a doorway or a window or a vortex, as they are often referred to. And people often think that when their chakras are open, that energy is going to come in, and in fact, it often does. However, what's left out of teachings is the vital fact that there is a presence or a consciousness, a tangible presence that exists in the chakra space. Now, this is an aspect of your soul because, in fact, every one of your chakras is an aspect of your soul being your essence. Your body is an expression, if you like, of your soul essence, and your chakras are aspects of your soul essence. Now, if you, as a being, are capable of being present with your mind, with your feelings, with your body, it must also be so that you, as a being, can be present in your chakra, and it must be so that your chakra has a body of sorts, which it does. Now, when you look at depictions of chakras, because of the necessity of doing things in two-dimensional pictures on a flat page, they are drawn as a flat disk. Think of it rather as a three-dimensional reality. So get a sense that there is a three-dimensional, you could think of it as a sphere, if you like, It's not solid like a rubber ball. It's more like a field. And if you've seen those sea creatures called a sea anemone, it's one of those things that has many, many legs or tendrils. This would be a more accurate way to think of the living body of your crown center. So get a sense that there is this living liquid light reality that is your crown living essence in that region, somewhat above, somewhat towards the back of the head. Now, get a sense that it is in the physical head, but it extends beyond as well. Now, to get a sense of what these tendrils or arms of light are like, well, get a sense of your arms. Get a sense of your legs. If your arms and legs extend from your body, and if with your feet and hands you can step towards things or reach towards things, apply that to these fingers or arms of light that extend from your crown. So when you do this now, you will actually get a sense that something within you is reaching. It's reaching from the center point of the crown, but you are staying in your body. You always stay in your body when you do these techniques. Yet, from the top of your head, you can reach in all directions because you have millions of fibers of light, millions of arms or tendrils of light. And these are, you might think of it as the etheric body of your crown center. So just tune into that right now, that these fingers of light, these arms of light are extending from your crown. And since they are consciously extending, you can push away anything that needs to be pushed away. You can sweep away the space. Now, earlier, you were using your energy hands to sweep the space. So now you are using the equivalent of your energy hands, the equivalent of your arms, but these are fibers of light extending from your crown. So this is the crown becoming conscious. And when you do this, you will be delighted to find that stale energy suddenly hops away. It suddenly goes away. It's almost as if negative entities, negative thought patterns, blocks, whatever they may be, they are only able to be there because you are not consciously there. And so when you move those fibers of light that extend from the crown, you are activating that area. You are creating motion, but it is a natural dynamic motion that is the natural dynamic motion of your own self. And so to answer anybody's question, how do we protect this chakra? The same way you protect anything that is you. You become so conscious there that you are there, and the things that do not belong there are not there. Now, let's get a sense of what that is like, and recognize as you do this, you can, through your intention and imagination, your fibers of light can be dense and strong. They can be delicate and airy. They can be any texture that you want them to be. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I want something beautiful and soft, that is good at certain times. It's good to be beautiful and soft at certain times. You also want and need to be strong and tough when appropriate. So try this right now. The fibers of light that extend from your crown, let those fibers be tough, strong. They would move a little bit more slowly. And then make them delicate and gentle and airy, very soft. Now, we're not talking about good and bad. We're talking about a range of textures that you need to be able to access. The reason it's particularly important for the crown center is your gateway to universal consciousness. Now, even though I'm calling it a gateway, that doesn't mean that you just open the door and just sit there passively. Everything in the universe happens through resonance. So when you are consciously present in your crown and consciously moving the aura fibers, you are actually raising the vibration of your crown center and you are protecting it. There are some really interesting things that you can do with a conscious crown center. Now, if the gateway to cosmic consciousness is through the crown, what if you could touch cosmic energy with your crown? So let's explore how one might do that. Tune into the crown space and center into your body. Tune into your feet and tune into the palms of your hands. I'm noticing that people are starting to fly this way and that. So tune into your feet and your hands and tune into those fibers of light that are the etheric body of the crown center. Let some of those fibers of light begin to reach upwards. Now, you could reach as high as you want, but there's a little rule of safety that I want to share. If you reach, let us say, several feet or several meters above your head, and you start to feel spacey, that means that too much of your consciousness is reaching up. So, if you start to feel spacey, tune into your legs, tune into your feet, tune into the space beneath your feet. Now, there are different beliefs that are taught expressing the notion that you should reach a certain distance above your head in order to have a spiritual experience. Now, in fact, above your crown center there is yet another chakra and yet another chakra, and it continues to infinity. So all the people that say that you should reach so many meters or so many feet above your head, well, they are undoubtedly right. They are correct because wherever you go above your head, there are higher cosmic chakras. Likewise, beneath your feet, there are an infinite number of chakras. So, just for fun, tune into about 3 meters or about 10 feet above your head, but stay in your body. Now, what I want you to do with the fibers of light that extend from your crown, massage that area about 3 meters or about 10 feet above your head. You are doing this while being grounded in your body. Your fibers of light are reaching up, but you are grounded. Now notice, some really interesting shifts have occurred for everybody. Notice what your body feels, and as you massage that area, notice what happens in the space around you. It is subtle, but definite. It is a clarity because, in fact, by doing this massage about 3 meters or 10 feet above your head, you are opening up yet higher chakras. And that means that you are accessing even higher octaves or even higher frequencies of cosmic consciousness. Now, because you are grounded in your body, because you are centered in present time, you are able to be with and utilize those energies in a safe, grounded way. This is good. So, we had an interesting comment that there was a sleepy feeling, and then when the massaging started, everything seemed to clarify. Naturally, because many people have been working with their chakras, even though they are doing so in a very devoted attitude, in a somewhat passive way, because they have been told to witness their chakras, or they have been told to simply look at them or be with them. When you actually start working the muscles of your etheric chakra body, it's like working your own muscles. You become vibrantly present in your body, and everything becomes stronger, clearer, more vital. Okay, now let's work with getting the chakras talking to each other. Now we are going to do this in a very grounded way. Tune into your heart center. Get a sense that your heart center has a pulse. Get a sense that your heart center is alive. Tune into that space. Trust that what you sense in your heart chakra space is your heart center. If you feel that you are using your imagination, if you are saying to yourself, oh, I must be imagining this, that is perfectly fine. Imagination is a legitimate way to have spiritual experiences. So you tune in to your heart space. Now, let the fibers of light from your heart area reach gently but decisively upwards and start to touch into the crown. Fibers from heart reaching upwards, massaging into the crown space. Good. Light fibers from crown reaching down, massaging into the heart space. That is producing some very nice releases. It's actually pushing out some entities that were trying to get into certain people's spaces. The reason I suspect it's clearing them so efficiently is that the connection between the heart and the connection between the mind and the soul is somehow being cleared. This technique is allowing you to own your space and to define that body, emotions, mind, spirit are integrated. So there's no room for these extra beings. A lot of stale energy releasing. So as needed, use your energy hands to lift stale energy out of your space, release it in light or in the earth. Good. Okay. Now, we are going to connect with the root center. Some people access the root center at the perineum, where you sit, also known as the pelvic floor. And some people access the root center at the tailbone. So whether at perineum or whether at the pelvic floor, get a sense of the pulse and the warmth and the presence of your root center. And of course, it is alive too, so it has fibers of light. Get a sense that your crown is reaching and massaging your root center. Good. And for those people that might be wondering, well, how can you reach so far? We are talking about light and consciousness, so it is possible. You can intend it. You intend that the fibers of light from your crown are reaching all the way through you and gently massaging your root center. And fibers from the root center are moving upwards and gently massaging crown center. Now, I have a sense that for a number of people, there is an issue where they think of their root area as being somehow distinct or very different from their crown. And to that, one could say, well, yes, it's different, but one could also say they're both chakras, they're both of you, they are aspects of you. Think of them as the yin and yang of one thing, or different sides of the same coin. So crown reaching down, massaging root, root reaching up, massaging crown. And it would be useful to do some affirmations as you do that. I will tune into the ones that come up. First affirmation: I am me. I am complete. I am me. I am complete. I own my space with my true energy. I own my space with my true energy. Very good. That released a lot. With your energy hands, lift stagnant energy out of the space, release it into light, or release it into the center of the earth. Very good. Okay. Now, let's see what is up. Just checking everybody's energy. Okay. We are going to practice something that will sound advanced, but it's actually something that's quite simple when you do it step by step. We are going to be using Crown Center with something it is naturally adept at. Because it is so linked to cosmic consciousness, we are going to use it to filter and heal negative energy that might exist within your body or within your emotions or your mind. Take your energy hand, either energy hand or both energy hands if you like. Imagine that you are reaching into your body. Imagine that with your energy hand, you gently lift out anything that is stagnant there. But instead of throwing it away this time, we are going to discover something. Take the stagnant energy, place it into the inner realm of the Crown Center, because the Crown Center is going to be educated by this situation. It's going to discover, hey, the body or the emotions or the mind had something stagnant. I now realize that that is there. I'm going to help with that. So you're taking that stagnant energy, putting it in the crown, and asking the crown to dissolve and heal that energy. Reaching into problem area, taking some of the problem energy, placing it in the crown, asking crown to heal that pattern. Now take the healed energy, however you experience it, bring it back to where you started. Bring the energy that has been healed or smoothed back to the area where you started. Now, you've done two things here, or three at least. You have done a clearing for something that was stuck in your body or mind. Next, you educated the crown, because now the crown is going to be more aware of your needs. And then you brought the healed energy back to your body, your mind, or your emotions. And so you now are at a new level of healthy, balanced consciousness, complements of your Crown Center. I'm noticing that as a result of doing that, everybody looks stronger, brighter, auras look bigger, but also more confident and strong. Let's try a related approach to using the Crown Center for healing. Before we proceed with that, a question has come up. Yes, please. What happens if you are lifting some energy up, but the energy goes somewhere else? What if it moves down your arm or goes into the room or something like this? Basically, all of these techniques, you want to be creative with them. So the technique of discovering how your crown can heal a stuck pattern. It's going to heal what it's capable of healing, but some of these energies might have to be released into the earth, or they might have to be released into light, or you might use yet any of a number of other techniques. So always be creative with that and realize that each time you do this, you might need to do it in a somewhat different way. So yes, this is somewhat of a recipe, but no, it's not a fixed recipe. You can always be creative with what you're creating. Okay. Now, another technique for working with the crown. In this technique, you are going to tune into the consciousness that is deep within the crown. You are going to bring that consciousness to different parts of your body and mind. So, how do we do this? First of all, we want to be grounded. So, tune into your body, tune into your hands and feet. That keeps you focused and centered. Now, tune into your crown center. You're still in your body, but tune into your crown center and start moving some of those etheric aura fibers in the crown center, and that really gets you present there, brings you into that consciousness. Now, imagine that you could feel or look through the consciousness of the crown and get a sense of your body from that crown perspective. Now, this will require the imagination, but your practicing this will vastly improve your perception. It's almost like being in the presence of somebody who has special abilities, and those special abilities start to rub off on you. In this case, the being, so to speak, with the special abilities is your very own crown center, the cosmic connection. And so, you are in your body, you are tuning into your crown, you're getting a sense, what would it be like for the crown to reach into different parts of the body? What is it like for the crown to reach into your feelings or your thoughts? Now, use your imagination, get a sense of what that's like for the crown, but also realize that the crown, being so cosmically connected, can reach into something and extend healing or higher consciousness energy to that part of the body or to that part of the mind. So pick an area. Could be something in your feelings or your body or your thoughts. Extend those fibers of light from your crown. And we're talking about fibers of light because we want to ground this into something that's very tangible and real. So fibers of living light are probing into the body, into the mind, into the emotions, reaching from the crown. Very good. That is releasing a lot. Lift stagnant energy released out of your space. Release it in light. Very good. Okay. At this point, everybody is looking much more strong and bright, and your super being aspects are definitely coming to the fore, so that is good. Now, let's notice what happens when you sense your body as the living radiance that it is, and you breathe into that body, and you recognize that you have this aspect of cosmic consciousness which is part of you, your crown center. Now, let's find out what happens. Let's move upwards. Let's activate what some people call the soul star, which is generally about 0.5 meter above the head. That would be about 1.5 to 2 feet above the head. Activate that. Use your imagination for this. It's okay to imagine. The fibers of light from your crown, the fibers of light reach up and start to massage the next chakra up, the soul star. Activate that. Massage it. Now, for many people, it's somewhat blocked. Just start to probe and massage that chakra above the crown. Now, if you notice that something seems blocked, work gently but deliberately. In other words, peel away the layers. And this is a very important metaphysical healing principle. You always do things in layers. The reason that's so important to recognize is that if you start doing something and you notice that it's taking place more slowly than you would prefer, you do not want to start affirming negatively, oh, it is not working. In fact, it is working, but it is working gently or slowly and more properly termed layer by layer, bit by bit. So one step at a time. So peel away a layer of blockage, peel away another layer. This is looking better. What I'm seeing is that activating the soul star is making you look really strong, but it is subjecting you to more energy, more cosmic energy than you are familiar with. So, breathe into your body. Be aware of your breathing. Simply doing that, being aware of your breathing, is an excellent technique for assimilating energy. You could think of being aware of your breath as being similar to digesting food, in this case, digesting energy. So you are aware of your breath. You are aware of your crown. You are aware of your body. Now, let's consider a little bit more detail about this soul star. Some people call it also the 8th chakra, since they're counting in a certain way, and so they get to chakra 7 at the crown, and so then above that, the 8th. You could think of the 8th as being something that holds a lot of your deepest, most positive potential. Now, if the 8th is holding that positive potential, what's the 7th? You could think of the 7th as the way to approach that, a doorway. But when you get to that soul star, you are touching into, it's almost like a deeper body or a deeper essence of your mind, deeper essence of your soul. Now, being deep, that implies that it has been there for eternity. You could think of it as containing codes, positive codes, or patterns, positive patterns of your divine essence. So, with that in mind, we are going to do a practice now. Tune into your body, tune into your crown, let the light fibers from your crown stimulate the soul star, and as you do that, intend, I want to express my divine pattern. I want to express my divine pattern. I choose to express my divine pattern. I choose to express my divine pattern. Now, get a sense that you can touch the energy of your divine pattern. Now, if your mind wants to know, well, what does my divine pattern look like? What does my divine pattern look like? What does it sound like? What is it? This is something that you can feel into much more easily than describe, because it is a multifaceted, multidimensional, infinite reality. So just feel into it. As you reach the chakra fibers from the crown upwards and you stimulate the soul star, and you are affirming, I safely express my true pattern now. I safely express my true pattern now. Yes. Interesting question came up concerning patterns and concerning talking about a cosmic or divine aspect of itself. Basically, we exist at many different levels. And we exist at so many different levels that we have the infinite spectrum of consciousness, meaning that some parts are very aware, some parts are very unaware, and everything in between. And so, basically, when you are cultivating integrated higher consciousness, you are using the conscious parts to help and heal and educate the less enlightened aspects. So it's never a judgment and it's never a problem if you find something blocked. Also, even if you are looking at your highermost chakras, they are not automatically enlightened. They are in a state of perpetual learning because everything in the universe is. And so that means that what you tune into in your higher chakras can help the other aspects of you, but those higher aspects need their own help. Now, a beautiful paradox is that one of the things that will help cultivate and heal your higher chakras is the lower chakras. Also, the physical body will help the higher chakras, because the stability of the physical body, the lower grounded frequencies of the lower chakras, are actually very healing and helpful to the upper chakras. So I would encourage you to get out of the old-fashioned thought that some chakras are spiritual and some chakras are not. That is not so. And get out of the old-fashioned notion that there is something that is intrinsically enlightened. Now, it's true that the deeper you go into any chakra, you find ever more enlightened aspects. They are never 100% enlightened because, frankly, nothing in the universe is 100% enlightened. Everything in the universe, if you ask it to express honestly, will say that it is in a state of learning and discovery. Even what some people call God or cosmic consciousness is in a perpetual state of learning and evolution. Now, we are going to do a set of visualizations. What I see is that everybody is looking very vibrant, but we need more central channel, central core consciousness, which is another way of saying the energy of the spine. Get a sense that no matter how much expansion you achieve in consciousness, the more you expand and the more you raise your vibration, the more you are going to be focused in your spine, in your central channel. So tune into your spine and get a sense that, yes, you might be having cosmic consciousness experiences. Yes, you might be opening your higher chakras, but you intend to be present in your body, and everything is grounded and centered in your spinal column so that you are always in that vertical center. Get a sense of that. Good. One thing I see releasing with many people, it's almost as if over the centuries, over the lifetimes, there were all kinds of helper beings who were getting into your space, and maybe in past lifetimes they were helpful. I'm noticing that now they seem to be sitting around almost as if they are perhaps out of a job, and frankly that's okay, because your goal as a spiritual student is to be learning from the source, the ultimate teacher, the cosmic consciousness that exists within you and that exists within everything. So imagine right now that you have a large fishing net, and sweep this fishing net made of light all around your aura, all around your body. Sweep any old-fashioned teacher beings out of your space and release them in light. And realize that the only reason that they're surfacing now and the only reason that they're coming up to the surface, showing themselves, because they are no longer part of your reality. They no longer need to be there. And a question has just come up. Why do we not use the star chakra fibers to awaken the rest of the chakras? That is an important question. As a general principle, let us definitely say there is awakening that you can activate in your whole system from any of the chakras, and the etheric fibers from your star chakra or soul chakra definitely can activate the rest of the system. And it would, in fact, be very useful to do a visualization on that right now. Now, first of all, remember, the more you go above your head to activate something and work with something, the more you want to be deeply rooted in your breathing, in your spine, in your hands, in your feet. In other words, you want to be really here. Here's how you could think of it. 90% of you is in your body. 10% is going to be working in your soul star above your head. So 90% of you is in your body. The 10% that's in the soul star, reach up there, activate the soul star with the crown. That's good. Okay. Now tune into the consciousness of the soul star. Use your imagination. Get a sense of its aura fibers. And let it reach down and let it stimulate and strengthen and massage the crown center, top of the head, a little bit towards the back. So soul star, about 1.5 feet above your head, which is about half a meter, reaching down, massaging crown. Now, massage top of brain and massage nervous system. Soul star fibers, reaching down, massaging top of head, massaging nervous system. Also, the soul star is going to massage and activate and strengthen the entire central channel. You could imagine the central channel as being the equivalent of your spinal column, but made of light. Simply imagine it. Vertical column of light being stimulated, cleansed, strengthened. Good. Very nice. Okay. So we had a comment that as somebody was working with this, they were getting some pain at the top of the head, and looking at that kind of situation, this is from overenthusiasm. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is an important principle to work with. Anytime you're activating something, if it starts to produce too much pressure, you are probably activating more energy than you need to activate, possibly through enthusiasm, an overly strenuous, exuberant wish to get a really good result. So, remember, you are in charge of all these processes. Therefore, lighten the energy. If you're working with something and it's too much or produces too much pressure, make the energy very light. Make it evanescent or transparent. Let's just test this. Let's have everybody play with that. Let the energy from either your crown or your soul star be very light, or let it be very strong and bold. But whatever you choose to work with, learn from that experience. If it's light but it seems too subtle, make it stronger. If it's strong but it seems to be too much or produces pressure, lighten. So make the appropriate shift that you need to make. Good. That is releasing quite a bit. Use your energy hands to release any stuck or stagnant patterns out of your workspace. Lift it out, release it in light, or release it into the center of the earth where it can dissolve. Very good. So we just had a comment that working with Soul Star produced a lot of relief and felt quite good. And in fact, for many people, these upper chakras, crown and Soul Star and above, the only time when many people have had experiences of those activations was when they were in the presence of master teachers or in the presence of holy places. Now, without denying the power of certain teachers and certain holy places as potentially activating you, honor that what a teacher has, you have. Honor that through history, the people who were depicted in the way that showed that radiance around their head, they had activated something which you too can activate. Do honor that in this modern era, we are being asked, as it were, by the universe to be that masterful level of consciousness. Maybe in the past, the earth plane could only handle having so many enlightened people. We are permitted, in a sense, by the universe now to step into our power and get our power that we have given away back. These techniques that we are exploring this evening are one way to do that. Now, let's tune in and let's see if there's anything else that's needed. Yes, I want to briefly talk about how to understand these chakras and chakras in general as aspects of the universal energy grid. Now, if you were to tune into your chakra system, you can sense that your chakras are all in a line. In other words, they're in a vertical line, and so they're all connected to each other. And if you run the energy up above your head and you start following those chakras, you start to wonder, well, at a certain point, what's the universe and what's me? The answer to that is that at a certain level, there's no way to answer the question. All you can do is experience when you work with upper chakras and chakras below your feet that it seems to be you, but it also seems to be the universe. So it's a beautiful mystery that you can explore in your explorations and meditations. However, when you look at a map, you have longitude and latitude. You have lines going up and lines going out. In fact, there is a universal grid that we are all part of. And so that's something that you can be conscious of. Let's have a brief experience with the universal grid. Get a sense that the crown chakra and the soul star can access the energies horizontally. In other words, out to the side, in front of you, and behind you, as well as the energies going up and down. Now, the way you might envision that, if you were looking at a map, at every point where the latitude and longitude lines cross, if there was a little spark of light. So just pretend that there are little sparks of light in every chakra of yours. And as the energies reach out to the universe from your chakras, there is a grid of light that you are part of. And so you are truly on the map of the universe. And this is why the idea that I am here and the universe is out there is ridiculous. There is the universe, and you are an important part of it, just as surely as when you look at a map, if you look at something that's on the map, it's part of the world. So you are part of the world of the universe. And you can recognize now your chakras are all points on the grid. You are not better than, you are not worse than any other point on the universal grid. So, for the concluding meditation this evening, tune into the crown, tune into the soul star, remain grounded in your body, remain attuned to your breathing, and get a sense that these cosmic points of light within you are vital aspects of the universe. You can receive, you can transmit to and from the universe through your energy centers. You can, of course, choose to do so in a safe, centered, grounded way. Anytime you do anything with energy or energy centers, you stay in your body, you stay with your breathing. Now remember, if the energy gets too strong, you ask it to get smoother and milder and gentler. If it's too mild, you turn up the volume. So, I want to thank you. That was beautiful and amazing. I wish you safe, centered, grounded, cosmic consciousness. I wish that with the cosmic experiences that you create through your explorations, you write the books that you need to write, create the paintings and plays and poems and healings that are needed for yourself and for the planet. I wish for you oneness with the one consciousness that is this universe. Thank you and blessings. Thank you, everybody.